Welcome to a very belated video. So today we're going to be going through my books on my 2016 2026, and I know this is very late. I know, but you see, I'm going to do some videos on my channel of me sort of like sticking to the goals I set myself in 2026. So like I want to read my 2016 2026, and I've also got my A to Z challenge as well. And I figured that if I'm going to be doing some videos based around my 2016 2026, I should probably actually tell you what they are. So if you've watched any of my journaling videos, you'll have probably seen this page. Now this does have the covers for all of the books on my list, but I just wanted to sort of quickly talk through them as well. That's what we're going to do today. Now I know this is very late, being mid-Feb and all, but I just really wanted this to be somewhere on my channel. Also just because my YouTube is basically just my digital reading journal, and it's just something for me to look back on as well. And then also it's also just somewhere for you guys to go, you didn't read your 2016 2026, did you? And now you can see exactly what I actually should have read. I've got 10 new releases and then 16 books that were already on my shelves. 2 of those new releases are now already out as well, because obviously we're mid-February already, so you know, we're a bit late. But I wanted this somewhere on my channel. I will be doing videos where I'm reading books off my 2016 2026, so you know, I just wanted this somewhere. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's jump straight into my 2016 2026. Yes, I now have a straw for my monsters, don't judge me. I'm going to start with the 10 new releases that are coming out this year. These will be the UK dates, and I'm sorry in advance if they're not correct. One of them had changed and I just haven't gone around to checking the rest of them yet. There are 2 from those 10 that are already out now, so I'll go through those ones first. So starting with Dove by Paisley Hope. This is book 2 in the Soldiers of Bedlam series. So this one follows our main characters Layla and Sean. We do actually know these characters from book 1. This book is set before book 2, and these are MC romances, and I love this so much. She's also just announced book 3, which I'm so excited for. But this one came out on the 1st of January 2026. I did actually receive the ARC, but I had already created my lists before, so I did finish this technically in 2025, but it was a 2026 release. So highly recommend this one. This one was so good. We then have The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summerlee. This one came out on the 13th of January 2026. It is a vampire hunter sapphic romance. I mean, I have started this already. I'm about 100 pages in, but unfortunately with like the videos and stuff that I've had to film, this has kind of gone on a back burner, but I do plan on picking this up very soon. I am enjoying it so far. I do think when I finally get around to it, I will probably just restart it, but just in case it's sooner than I expect, I've left my bookmark in. But so far I am really enjoying this. Really easy to read. We've not really got into the story very much yet. It's still sort of just world building and things. It's a Scottish university sapphic vampire romance, so feels like a bit of me. I'm really excited to get back to this one. So the next 8 I don't own because they're not actually out yet, but I will just talk you through them anyway. So the first one I've got on here is And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison. This is book 2 in the Heartstrings series. I am beyond excited for this book. Book 1 was a 5-star, 6-star read for me. I loved it so much. And it was also the first book I read by B.K. Borison. This one is supposed to be out on the 24th of February, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about it. Like, I am genuinely beyond excited. I cannot wait to get this in my hands. This is one that I've been looking forward to since the second it was announced. I was beyond excited to get my hands on this one. I've read a couple of books by this author now, and I just absolutely love her writing style and her banter, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. So only a couple of weeks and we'll have that one now, which makes me very happy. I next have In Her Own League by Liz Tomforde. This is a sort of like kind of standalone on the edge of the Windy City series. So she said that it's not technically part of the Windy City series, but is obviously involving the characters from there. So this one is Monty's book. So if you've read the Windy City series, Monty is the dad of the woman in book 3 and also the coach for the like main characters in book 3 and 4. Monty is a fucking legend. I love Monty so much, and I genuinely cannot wait for his story. I think it's gonna be so much fun. And then our female lead in that one is the new owner of the baseball like team, so it's going to be like a enemies to lovers workplace romance. I am so excited. I love Monty and I love Reese, and seeing the sort of like breadcrumbs we've had of their relationship so far, I think it's going to be really interesting to read that story. So that one's supposed to be out on the 3rd of March. So not too long to go. March is actually a really good month for new releases, because then on the 10th we have Blood and Roses by Callie Hart. This is going to be a mafia, criminal underworld sort of romance. I think our main female character is actually looking for her sister who's gone missing, and then the main male character is part of this criminal underworld whose boss has actually got into sort of like trafficking, and it's going to be sort of like a weird romance mafia style thing. I love a mafia romance. I just think this one's going to be so good, and I'm genuinely so excited to get my hands on it. I do think this was originally supposed to come out in January. That was the date I had, and then when I was looking at all my pre-orders the other day, I saw that like this isn't actually out until March now, which I'm quite sad about, but equally it's still coming early this year, so I'm okay with that. It's only like what, 6 weeks, so I'm really excited to read that one. I know Callie Hart has done a lot of like fantasy stuff, and I feel like that's what she's kind of known for, but I'm really excited to read her romance and her mafia style things. I haven't actually read any of her fantasy books. Well, I've not read any of her books at all yet, so I'm intrigued to see what people have to say about her fantasy versus her like mafia romance writing styles. I'm so excited for that one. I'm really hoping it does also like motivate me to read Quicksilver, because I've had Quicksilver on my shelf for the longest time and I still haven't read it, so we'll see how that goes. And then also in March we have The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This is supposed to be coming out on the 31st of March. This is a boyfriend's best friend romance, I believe. So she's sort of like pining over her boyfriend's best friend, and I just think that that's going to be a very messy read, but I'm also really excited about it. I love Abby Jimenez's writing. I've read 4 of her books now and I've really enjoyed every single one of them, so I'm really looking forward to another one of hers. I'm really looking forward to giving that one a go though, and I'm hoping that that sort of like motivates me to pick up her other series too. Hydration break, I'm talking so much. Okay, I then don't actually know of any good releases coming out that I'm excited for April. So from March, we'll then jump into May. And on the 19th of May, we actually have 2 books I'm really excited for. First, we have Lightwielder by Rachel Schneider. This is book 2 in the Fire and Metal series by this author. Book 1, we have Metal Slinger. I did a full video dedicated to this one book. I loved it. The ending wasn't what I wanted it to be, but then I got really petty about it. But I actually really enjoyed that book, and it was a massive cliffhanger ending, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that actually pans out in book 2. I think there's a lot of us patiently waiting for that release. But these are pirate fantasy romances, but there's also like magic and lots of other elements intertwined in there, and I just loved it. I loved the writing style, I loved the characters, the magic system. I just think it was such an interesting read, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens going forward with that book. And then also on the 19th of May we have Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. So this is going to be her newest sort of like country romance. So obviously she's got Chestnut Spring, she's got Gold Rush Ranch, she's got the Rose Hill series, and now she's got Emerald Lake, and the book 1 is Fever Dream. I still haven't read the Rose Hill series, so I'm really hoping to get to that at some point this year. Book 1 is actually on this list, but we'll get to that in a moment. I'm really hoping to get all of the Rose Hill series read so that I can be seated ready for when that one comes out. I'm not really sure what the vibe is for that series yet. I've not looked into it too much at the moment, but I'm really excited to see what that new series is going to be about. Next up we have Daybreak by Autumn Woods. So this is book 2 in the Sorrow Song University series by this author. Book 1 ended on such a cliffhanger ending. There was such a big sort of moment at the end, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that played out. I did enjoy book 1. Again, I don't think it was what I expected. I expected quite like an older world situation, and they were like on Instagram and things, so that kind of threw me off, but that's simply because of my own expectations, nothing to do with the writing, but that is completely my own fault. I did actually end up really enjoying the book. I just need to stop going in with expectations, because then I ruin things for myself. But I loved book 1. This one's supposed to be coming out on the 30th of July, so we've still got a while to go for that one, but again, it's one that I'm really excited for. I did enjoy book 1. And I'm really hoping to get the matching sprayed edges, so I'm really hoping the works pick that up to do matching sprayed edges like they did for book 1, but we will just have to see. The last new release that I have is Grim Tidings by V.K. Borison. So this is book 2 in the Christmas ones. I don't know what the series is called. Is it Ghosted? Ghosted. I think it's Ghosted or Ghosting. Book 1 was Good Spirits, and I really enjoyed that one as like a fun Christmassy read. And this one is following like an angel and a Grim Reaper, I think. She's only this past couple of weeks actually released like the synopsis and the artwork for that one. So I am so excited to give this one a go. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm wondering if anybody knows, is the Grim Reaper the one that they talk about in book 1? Is that like the overlap? Because if so, good work. But that one's supposed to be coming out on the 15th of September. They're the 10 new releases that I wanted to talk about. I've now just got 2 massive stacks of books in front of me. I've got like a fantasy stack and a romance stack. So I just thought we could go through all these and quickly talk through all the rest of the series that I want to, or books that I want to pick up this year. So let's jump straight into that, because we definitely have a good mix of books here. I think I'm going to start with my sort of like romance stack. So I first have, we mentioned this one already, but I've got Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is book 1 in the Rose Hill series. So if I remember correctly, this is Willa from Chestnut Springs series. This is her brother. And this series is all like single dads, and I love a single dad romance, so I'm really looking forward to getting into these ones. I think once I start them, I will just like fly through them. I love Elsie Silver's writing. They're all just so easy to read. The writing is always, yeah, it's always quite big, so it's quite easy to sort of fly through. I'm really looking forward to jumping into these ones. I absolutely love this author's writing so much. I love her romances. They're fun, spicy, easy to read. So I'm hoping to fly through this series ready for when Fever Dream comes out, but I am so excited to read these as well. And then on the topic of like country romances or like small town romances, I also have Soul Searching by Layla Sage. I love Layla Sage's writing. I've read everything this woman has written. This is sort of like a paranormal romance, I think, so like she can speak to ghosts. This is actually on the TBR for February, so I'm really hoping to get to this in the next like week or so, but I'm really excited to give this one a go. I really love her writing. I love the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I've read all of those, so I'm really looking forward to trying something different, but this is book 1 in the Sweetwater Peak novels. So really looking forward to jumping into this one this month. I am going to read it. I mean, would it even be one of my videos without me knocking my tripod at some point? Like my book stack just knocked, like started falling and I knocked my tripod. So if the angle's changed, I'm sorry. I'm shit at this. The next lot of books are all actually sport romances. So the next like 3 books are all sport romances, and it's all starting like new series, and I don't want to have too many series on the go this year. I'm trying to keep my series under 25. We'll just have to see how that goes. But the first one I have on here is Collide by Bal Cabral. So this is book 1 in the Off the Ice series by this author. So I've heard the most amazing things. Okay, so this is book 1 in this series. There's 3 books out at the moment. I do think there's going to be a 4th coming later on this year. I don't know if that's it then or not. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you guys. But this is book 1 in the series. It looks like a sort of enemies to lovers. They have to work together on a project sort of situation. I want to finish the off-campus series, so I've only got one college one on the go at a time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. I think this series is going to be a lot of fun. I then also have Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is book 1 in the Playing for Keeps series. I want to say there's like 4... There's 5. There's 5 books in this series. I don't know if it's completed or not, but these are sort of like, I always want to say like grown up, but they're not college. It's like career ice hockey romances. When I finished the Windy City series, I asked for more sport romance with that sort of setup, and everybody was screaming this book at me. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. I've heard the most amazing things from you guys and also from like my other socials and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to jumping into this one. I think this one will be a lot of fun and spicy and like messy, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping into this series. I have currently got the Game Changers series on the go. I will probably read this alongside those ones. I'm not too bothered about like mixing. It's college ones for some reason that I can't sort of differentiate a lot of the times, but like the career ones I tend to be alright with, so we'll see. And then speaking of sort of like adult ones, I also have Face Off by Chelsea Curto. Again, I've heard the most amazing things about this series, but I do think they are changing the covers and releasing them officially as UK covers, so I only have book 1 in this series at the minute, but we'll just have to see what happens because these covers are really hard to get a hold of now in the UK, so I'm assuming we're getting our own editions, so we'll just have to see about that. But I'm kind of gutted because I really like the US paperbacks. They're like so floppy, and they're the tall matte paperbacks, which I actually quite like. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 out again, but they are still going with these as far as I'm aware, unless the one that's just come out is the last one. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to give you the wrong information, but I am so excited about this. Again, I have heard the most amazing things about this series, and I do really want to get into them, but I'm probably going to wait to find out what's happening with the covers of these and if I'm going to need to buy them all separately because I want them all to be matching. So we'll just have to wait and see with these ones, but I'm really excited to get into this series. I've heard amazing things. And then another romance that I've got is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I've heard that this one is such like a lovely sort of sitcom vibe. I don't actually own this one yet, which is why I'm not holding it up for you guys. This is one that I'm probably going to leave until like autumn of the year to read. Apparently it's a very autumny vibe, so I'm going to wait till then to read it, but apparently it's just got that 90s sitcom nostalgia, and I'm really looking forward to giving that one a go. Again, I've heard amazing things. It is quite a big one for a romance as well, but I'm really looking forward to jumping into that one. I think that one's going to be really fun. I am probably going to wait until like August time, so that might be a holiday read, but yeah, we'll see. I'm really looking forward to that one though. I've heard nothing but good things. I then have like a couple of dark romance options. The first one is God of Malice by Rena Kent. I, again, have heard, and I'm going to say this every time because I only read from recommendation, but I've heard the most amazing things about this series. So this is book 1 of 6. This is the Legacy of God series. They're all dark romances. I'm not entirely sure if they're like mafia or not, but they're all sort of that criminal family vibe. I wanted to read the whole Reign of Kent universe, the Reigniverse, at some point, but obviously that is a very big universe to jump into. So I'm going to start with these. I also have the ice hockey ones as well. The Vipers series, they're all, oh, you can't see them, they're here. But I'm going to start with this one, with this series. I think this is sort of like her main and most popular one. But these cover like all of the tropes over the 6 books apparently, and I've just heard nothing but good things. They are dark though, so read your trigger warnings. I don't want to be responsible, but I've heard amazing things and I'm really excited to try these out. I next have Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This is book 1 in the Cat and Mouse duet. I have recently also got Phantom and Satan's Affair, which I'm apparently supposed to read before this, I think. So I will get to those soon because they're a bit smaller as well. And Phantom also just looks really cool. But this has been on my TBR for like 2 years now. Still not read it, and I really need to just, you know, get around to this. But again, these are apparently super dark, so check your trigger warnings. But this is book 1. I'm really excited to try these. I don't even know if these are going to seem that extreme after like what's come out since these, but I feel like these were the OG for like book talking things for dark romance, and I'm looking forward to giving this a go, let's put it that way. Let's jump into my fantasy ones. I think this is the only one that's like the second book in a series, but I have had to put The Ashes and the Stargaze King on here by Carissa Broadbent, and that is because I read book 1 what feels like forever ago, and I loved it so much, like genuinely so much. I devoured it. But this is huge and I can't bring myself to pick it up. So this is book 2 in the Nightborn duet, in the sort of Crowns of Nyaxia umbrella. It's like over 700 pages and I'm intimidated by big books. I am going to try and read at least one big book like a month this year, because I feel like I just put them off and put them off and put them off. And I miss this world. I've also read like the novella that you read between books 1 and 2, Lilith and Vale's story, and I feel like we're going to get a lot more of them in here, and I loved them as well, so I need to just bite the bullet and get into this one. And I feel like I'd just put it off if it weren't on one of my goal things. So The Ashes and the Stargaze King, I am going to read this year, ideally before, let's put a goal in it, I'm going to say before June, before the halfway point in this year. I want this read. I am also planning on starting the Throne of Glass series this year. So this is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. I think I'm going to read this first. I don't know which one to read in order to do. I need to do a little bit more research and decide what I'm feeling, but this is book 1 in the box, which is why I've got this book out. This is book 1 in the massive Throne of Glass series that's been doing the rounds for ages. I really want to get into these. I have heard nothing but amazing things, but yeah, they've just been all the hype, and I want to get it. I want to be involved. What can I say? I'm a sheep. I need to be involved in the hype. So I'm going to be very late on this, but I do plan on starting this series this year as well. Obviously this is a big series to commit to because there's like what, 7 books in this series, but we're going to read it. We're going to at least get a good way through it and then start it. So yeah. I next have Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox. I've heard amazing things about this series and about these authors as well. I've not read anything by them, but I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I saw a lot of hype about Ascended, which is another book by these authors last year, and you need to read these before you read that one. So this is going on my list in hope that I actually get to these soon. So I really want to read these. It sounds so interesting and I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. But more fantasies for me to jump into. We next have Direbound. Yes, I haven't read this yet. I am actually currently reading this. I've been reading it on my Kindle, but I am on chapter 25. So I'm like a good way into this now. I'm here. And I am loving it so far. I'm mad at myself for waiting so long to read it, but I am reading this in preparation for book 2 coming out in May. This is a werewolf fantasy romance. So this is a like competitions and trials based book, which I love if you know me at all, but I love trials and competitions. But these are sort of like you bond with direwolves, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not going to give you too much information again because I don't know. I'm loving this one so far. I think it's got sort of like a love triangle vibe going on at the minute as well. But I'm enjoying this one, another really fun fantasy romance, and I love like the thought of like the big direwolves and stuff. And people always ask me which edition I have. I've got the pink one. I'm still not entirely sure who that is, but yeah, we've got the pink one. But so far, so good. I'm loving this one. Mad at myself for putting it off for as long as I have. I next have To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This is my Fairy Loot edition. This is the only one I have. I've heard the most amazing things about this one. Who is at my door? Postman. It's all right. Yeah, I think this one is sort of like a bit of a dystopian romance. So they are basically in a world where if you commit a crime, you get sent to this prison that's basically just like a giant games, and people can pay to sort of like make your life harder. Yeah, so like commit a crime and your punishment is a life sentence in end lock. Her little brother Jed actually ends up locked up for a crime and she gets herself put in there basically to save him. This prison is basically like a giant games and I love the sound of this one. I've heard really great things, so I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. I also just love this book. It is absolutely stunning, but really excited to get into this one. I then have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is I was going to say a standalone, but there's actually book 2 coming out now as well, isn't there? But I'm really excited for this one. This is my Barnes & Noble edition that I got in New York and it's so heavy. Like, I don't know why it's so heavy. I don't actually know anything about, but Faye keeps telling me that I desperately need to read it, so I put it on my list. I basically said, like, of all my books, you can pick one to go on my TBR for 2026, and she said this one. So, we've put this one on there. I'm going to try and go into it blind, just because I think it'll be interesting. But I know nothing about it, but Faye raves about it all the time, and is constantly asking me if I'm reading it yet. So, this is going on my 26 and 2026, but I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. The next one I have on here is The Daughter of No Worlds. This is book 1 in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy by this author. This is Carissa Broadbent again. I've read her before. I love her writing style, so I'm really looking forward to trying this one out as well. I think this one has like a really unique magic system and things. I haven't read a lot about it. I've seen a lot of amazing things about the series though. I do like the old covers more than these ones, but they are growing on me, and obviously the sprayed edges are absolutely stunning. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. I've heard great things and the covers are stunning, but I want the paperbacks. But I've heard this one has such a unique magic system and is just like a really fun fantasy romance. So I'm looking forward to giving that one a go as well. And then last but not least, I have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This is book 26 on my 26 and 2026. This is by V. Schwab. This is another sort of like sapphic vampire romance. So another one I'm really looking forward to. It's following 3 girls, or 3 vampires I'm guessing, through sort of like different times and things. I've read the synopsis for this so many times and I still feel like I don't really know what's going to happen in this book, so I'm really excited to jump into this pretty much blind, because even reading it I'm still like, what are we doing here? It just says this is a book about life, how it ends and how it starts again. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. But yeah, 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. I am so excited to give this a go. Ellen Catherine here on YouTube is constantly raving about this book. I think this is one of her favourite books of all time, and that is saying something. So I'm really looking forward to trying this one. This is also my TBR for this month, so hopefully we get around to reading this. I think it's going to be a really fun one. So yeah. Okay, so that is my 26 books that I want to read in 2026. I'm really hoping to stick very true to my goals this year. I think that's going to be very difficult. I'm obviously going to be starting a lot of new series in doing that. It's going to be fine. It's going to be worth it, I hope. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping into all of these books. Like, having them all laid out in front of me right now makes me so excited for my 2026 reads. I have only read one of them so far, so I really need to step up my game and get more of these ones read. But all in all, I am really excited. I am really looking forward to all of my reads this year. I think it's going to be an amazing reading year. I really do. If you have any like releases or new releases coming out this year that I've not mentioned in this video, please let me know. I know I've missed like Starside by Alex Astor. I'm really looking forward to that one as well. Chasing the Fire by Paisley Hope is book 5 in the Silver Pine series that I'm so excited about, that also isn't on here. So another one that I need to add to my list. But I am honestly so excited. This year is going to be such a good reading year. I can just feel it in my soul. I am so excited. This one has been a long one, so if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.